M0FXB, welcome to my channel. I just thought I'd do a video of some of these handhelds that I play around with. Thought I'd just do one at a time. So let's start off with the Kenwood D74.
Yeah, 73's to you and all your troop, and I hope your daughter has recovered, over.
So it's a VHF, let's turn it down, VHF UHF radio with HF receive. Also has GPS APRS built into it. It's a lovely radio. It's dual band, full dual receive, but it would only receive digital on one band at a time, and it has the DR mode. Very nice radio. Quite a solid, sort of quite a brick unit. Yeah, I think these are about new, about £500. So and I think they've discontinued them. You can see it's got a lovely colour screen there, and it has a nice GPS sort of map that it shows, well, not maps, or you can see by that. So what do I think of it? I think it's probably the best handheld ever made. Even the new ICOM ID52 does not have full APRS, and this has Bluetooth that actually you can program the radio and transfer pictures wirelessly. You don't even need a USB cable, although it does have a USB cable, and it has an SD card slot as well. So it's a fantastic radio, and has a full keypad, which is quite nice. So that's the Kenwood D74. Moving on from that, we're going to go to this is the ID51. Now this radio, really, it's coming to the end of its life, I would say, because they're bringing out the the new ICOM ID52 with a colour screen and Bluetooth. But otherwise, everything on that radio and this radio is pretty similar, because this has terminal mode and access mode. So I'll just turn it on. So it's it's a black and white screen, and just to sell more of these, they made them in fancy colours, and the last model was the +2 model, which has the OPC 2350 cable. Still very nice.
Alpha Romeo, name is Ray. The QTH is Snod Land.
Again, it's dual band. VHF UHF has GPS, has DPRS, which is the one-way type APRS. It does show up on APRS FI. It's very nice radio. It's a nice size. The new 52 is actually quite a bit taller, so it's I think it's a nice size. And the battery in this is the same as what they've put in the ICOM 705, which I'll show you in a minute. Which is quite handy, because if you've got a few of these ICOM radios, the batteries are very interchangeable. So I do actually recommend the 51, because you can buy these second hand for about £250. So I think you get a lot for your money. I mean, the functions in this radio are endless, way more than you'll ever use, I would say. And it again uses the DR mode. And it's just pure joy to use, and this is quite a good speaker. There it is there on, that's full receive now at the moment, DR mode and analog receive.
Collecting buckets of water over.
Yes, I did. I don't know whether you got mine, actually. I don't know whether I lost my 4G
Okay.
or something. I did hear your house mover.
So that's D-Star.
I wish you luck for the day, and don't get wet with your bike anyway. So 73, enjoy your ride back home again.
Okay. So brand new, these were about £380, and the new ID52 is going to be £500, so it's probably worth hanging on for that. Now, I think that now we're moving on to the FT3D, and I think the FT3D is one of the best value radios on the market.
It's not a normal thing for this time of year, but we're certainly getting it. But the forecast is good. The forecast in this area anyway.
It's not one of the loudest radios. It's quite tinny sort of sound to it, but the functionality is amazing, because it's dual band, VHF, UHF, full C4 FM, full APRS, has GPS built in. It's built into it. It will receive digital on A and B bands. It's got funky functions like the cam feature, which will monitor, I think, up to 5 bands at the same time with a little graph on the screen. I just think they're excellent and packed with functions. And you can use it single mode, dual mode, and it has group mode in it, and it's got this function where you can assign someone a digi ID, and you can do sort of fox hunting type stuff. So it's quite a nice size. They're about £380 new. That's why I think that's such a good value. It has a good battery. The battery life is good. That's what the battery looks like. Very similar to the 51 actually, and the 705. Again, has an SD card for programming. The other thing it will do is you can add a SCU 19 or 39 cable, connect this to your PC, and you can use the full Wires X mode, and that's very good. It's a good size, and again, if you're thinking, right, well, I want to cover my C4 FM Wires X side of things, perfect. Get a little hotspot with this, and you can literally work the world, and the screen is just very appealing. So that's your FT3D. Very nice radio. So now another popular one we've got here is the Anytone 878. I'd say this is probably the most popular DMR radio, I think, on the market. Just letting it boot up. Now this is the new model. This is the 878 Mark II. It has a green button on top. The main thing is that it has full APRS receive, which the older models don't. This is a single VFO radio, although it is VHF and UHF, and it does broadcast radio as well, and DMR of course. It will only receive one at a time, and you need a code plug to program this radio, but it's still a very nice solid radio. The battery literally lasts forever on these things. Just trying to take my one out. So there's the battery removed. Nice big thick heavy battery, nearly as heavy as the radio. So that's what it looks like turned off. And put that back in, turn it on. Now it does do a GPS sort of loading, so it's a bit quite slow booting, but once it's on, if I exit that, personalized boot up screen, which many of the radios are coming out with nowadays.
Last year I came with the FP8 if the propagation is not so good. So the FP8 will help.
So there you go.
Now it's getting better. The propagation is getting better.
So it's the Anytone 878 UV2, and yeah, there's a learning curve to it, but I think you'd enjoy it. And it has a GPS. See if I can bring up the GPS menu. So many menus on this. GPS info. We're not getting a lock. See if I can get anything else. No, so you do need a lock on it, but it has a full APRS menu, and I tested it. It shows up on APRS FI. So if you want, they're quite good value, a couple of £100, and they do a lot. And with a little hotspot, jumbo hotspot, again, you can work the world. Right, and then we'll just end it with the, I'd say, the ultimate portable radio, which is the Icon 705. So this is VHF, UHF, HF 6 meters, GPRS, APRS, has built-in Wi-Fi, terminal mode, access mode. It's literally never ending with features, but the problem is it's £1,300, and that is a lot of money. But you do get, you know, all the HF bands. It is QRP. It's 10 watts without a DC supply, 5 watts with. We'll let it boot up there. See if we can find some activity. See if we can get the
big event, you know, they got the actual going and collecting. They send you an email with what they haven't got and what's not available. And we were going to have some COVID bread, but we're not now because they haven't got it. So, and I always select not to have a replacement. In other words, they don't give you something.
So it's a lovely lovely sounding radio. We haven't got a HF antenna in it at the moment. It's got GPS. Now we need to get a lock. There's no lock at the moment, but there's your GPS. Has full DR mode, so you hold down the call button. You're into DR mode for all your repeaters and hotspots and the whole DR system that Anytone have designed. Now it does have an SD card, built-in Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and you'll be surprised how many things that opens up for you wirelessly. So you can use remote software like WFView and RSBA1 to access this from anywhere in the world, or just use it locally with your laptop walking around your house. You can fully control this radio, and even with a scope. And the fact that it's QRP isn't a bad thing, it's a good thing because it makes you try harder with your antenna. So you'll be surprised once you've got it set up, good antenna set up. I use a portable 20-meter long wire with a 9-to-1 balun. You can make contacts no problem. And if you go into digital mode, FT8, you know, PSK, RTTY, all these kind of things, especially CW, you're going to work unlimited stations just using this radio. So for me, the 705 is, for me, the best radio I've ever used, easily. But is it a DX's radio? No, definitely not. But for someone like me who just uses a HF occasionally for the odd contact, but uses digital modes all the time, and repeaters and all the rest of it, this is easily my best radio. It does have a speaker microphone, comes standard. You can has a couple of plugs here that connect in. If you put both of them in, then the audio comes out of the microphone, otherwise it comes out of here. So yeah, just thought I'd do this video of a few radios that are lying around here. We build them up over the years, we make excuses to buy them. Do we need all of them? No, but every single one I've just showed you does something different than the other one, and I enjoy using them. So 7.3, thanks for watching.